Hello, fourth graders. This video is going to focus on word problems with decimals. So it's going to be adding and subtracting decimals within word problems. After this video, you're going to go to Canvas for a short quiz that just has a couple questions, word problems on adding and subtracting decimals. The easiest way to do this is to use money. Because I think that's the most relatable and realistic to use. So these two word problems involve money. Okay, let's take a look at the first one. Adrian bought 4 books and 2 bookmarks at the book fair. Each book cost $2.50 and each bookmark cost $1.95. How much did he spend at the book fair? So if we were to dissect this word problem, we are answering this question. How much did he spend at the book fair? So the total, amount of money that he spent after he purchased 4 books and 2 bookmarks. That is the end goal here. Let's look at the information that they gave us. So Adrian bought 4 books. I'm just going to use green for the books. If I go through this word problem, I need to know how much each book cost. So I'm going to read it again. Adrian bought 4 books and 2 bookmarks at the book fair. Each book cost $2.50. So I'm going to underline that. And then we know that he also bought 2 bookmarks. So we need to figure out how much does each bookmark cost. So Adrian bought 4 books and 2 bookmarks at the book fair. Each book cost $2.50. And each bookmark cost $1.95. So this problem is going to have a couple different steps in it. If we want to know the total amount that he spent at the book fair, I know that I'm going to have to add up each book that he bought. So he bought 4 books at $2.50. So I'm going to have to add $2.50 4 times. And I know that he bought 2 bookmarks and they cost $1.95. So I'm going to have to add $1.95 twice. So after I add 4 books at $2.50 and 2 bookmarks at $1.95, I will need to add both of those together in order to get the total amount that he spent at the book fair. So I'm going to do that on the back of this. All right, I know that he bought 4 books and they cost $2.50 each. So this is one way that you can do it. You can add all 4 books at once. So just like the last video, we start in the lowest place value. So when we're dealing with decimals, this is the hundredths place. So if I add up all of the hundredths zeros, I still have 0. And then I move on to the tenths place. So I'm going to add all those 5s up together. So 5, 10, 15, 20. 0 stays in the tenths place, and the 2 gets carried over to the ones place. Again, we are dealing with money and decimals, so I'm going to make sure that I include that in my answer. And then I can add up all the ones placed together. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So Adrian bought 4 books that cost $2.50. So those 4 books together equal $10. Okay. Next, I know that he bought 2 bookmarks that cost $1.95 each. So I'm going to add those up. Again, starting in the smallest place value, which is the hundredths place. 5 plus 5 is 0, or it's 10. 0 stays in the hundredths place, and the 1 goes to the tens place. Then I can add 1 plus 9, which is 10, plus 9 more, which is 19. And then adding the ones place, 1, 2, 3. So 2 bookmarks cost Adrian $3.90. So we got 2 bookmarks equals $3.90. All right, I set it up this way so I could easily add them together because the original question asked how much did he spend at the book fair. So we know how much each of the parts that he bought cost. So 4 books was $10. 2 bookmarks was $3.90. So now that I have each of those, I can add them up. All right, starting in the hundredths place, 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 9 is 9. 0 plus 3 is 3. And 1 plus nothing is still 1. So if we wanted to know how much Adrian spent at the book fair, when he bought 4 books and 2 bookmarks, he spent $13.90. All right, I have one more that I'm going to go over. So this, I'll read it and then we'll go over it. Okay. 1 pound of nuts cost $2.80. Max bought 2 pounds of nuts. He gave the clerk a $10 bill. How much change did he get? So again, multi-step word problem here. Let's see, what it's asking us is how much change did he get? So he bought nuts. They cost a certain amount of money. He gave the clerk a $10 bill, and they're asking how much change did he get? So after he paid for everything, he got some change. So in order to do that, we need to figure out how much nuts Max bought. We know that 1 pound costs $2.80, and Max bought 2 pounds of nuts. So if 1 pound is $2.80, 2 pounds is double that. So we need to add $2.80 twice. So that would be my first step. My second step is to figure out how much change he got back after he paid for the nuts. So step 2 is I would need to take what he paid. So I would need to take $10, and I would need to subtract what he bought to get my answer. So first I need to add up the 2 pounds of nuts that he bought, and then I need to subtract that from the $10 that he gave the clerk. So I'm going to do that on the back so I have a lot more room here, but I wanted to walk through the steps. so starting with adding. Remember, 1 pound of nuts cost $2.80. He bought 2 pounds. So starting in the hundredths place, if I add 0 plus 0, I get 0. Moving to the tenths place, 8 plus 8 is 16. And then the ones place, 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 2 more is 5. So 2 pounds of nuts equals $5.60. Super important that you label what you're working with. That way your answer makes sense. Let's go back and look at what our second step was. So my second step, remember, I need to figure out how much change did he get back. So if he gave the clerk $10 and he spent $5.60, I need to subtract that from what he gave the clerk. So I need to take $10. Let's scoot this over. And I need to subtract $5 from it. So starting in the smallest place value, 0 minus 0 is still 0. Zero minus 6, I cannot complete that operation because 6 is more than 0. So I need to go next door and borrow some more. Going over to the ones place, I cannot borrow from nothing. So I have to go to the tens place. So if I borrow a 10, that one becomes a 0. And that donates a 10 to the tens place, or to the ones place. Now I can take that 10 and donate to my tenths place. So that 10 becomes a 9, and this 0 becomes a 10. Lastly, I now have enough to borrow so I can donate to my hundredths place. So that 10 becomes a 9, and this 0 becomes a, oh, no, I'm so sorry. So you just get too much into the habit. I already did that. Rewind. So this 10 stays as a 10. Okay, 10 minus 6 is 4. 9 minus 5 is 4. And then I have nothing in the tens place, so my answer is $4.40. So how much change did Max get? He received $4.40 back. Okay, look to Canvas for your assignment for this lesson. It'll be a couple of word problems that have to do with adding and or subtracting decimals. If you have questions, please reach out. If you need to rewatch any of these videos, that would be helpful. Again, I tried to keep it pretty simple because if we get really good at the basics, then larger numbers won't be as scary. So yeah, please reach out if you have any questions, and look for Canvas for your assignment.